Hello and welcome. I'm coming to you live from Mobile World Congress. We've been here on the show floor and this is the HyperFRAME podcast. I'm joined by Stephen Rose from Render Networks.
Hi.
Hey Steve, welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Steve.
So tell us a little bit about what you do for Render Networks and then maybe just extend that a little and tell the listeners and viewers what Render Networks does.
Yeah, so I'm the CEO of Render Networks for 1 year and 2 days, I think.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Commiserations to everybody else. I'm only kidding. No, it's been fantastic. It's been a great journey. You know, there's a lot going on in the industry right now, and particularly if you think about it, there is something like $1.5 trillion going into the infrastructure sector. You know, that is the energy sector. To modernize those grid systems. In the telco world, of course, we've got massive amounts of infrastructure still being laid out, whether it be for middle mile or whether it be extensions of the networks. So there's a huge amount of investment going on, and it's of course trying to meet the demands of AI and data center build
And the speed at which we're going.
And that's the problem. And so I think actually our role, in many respects, is to do a few things. One is to provide the software that enables you to think about how do you actually know that what is the state of the build at any one moment in time? Are you running a data strategy inside of that enables you to interrogate where you are and what your return on invested capital is likely to be based on forecasted volumes and units. And then of course, once you've completed that, you want to be able to close out as quickly as possible, and you want to get everybody in the value chain paid, because it's a cash sensitive part of the industry as well. So our role really is to just get speed, velocity and accuracy into that build and closeout process.
We talked about it yesterday when we met. Really the processes, we'll think about the infrastructure, we'll think about the data center, we'll think about the network. We're not thinking about how we're going to bring all that together and drive the execution.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more and double click, if you will, on what Render's doing to sort of, we're seeing that we're just in a gold rush for build out.
Yeah.
What are you seeing and what are some of those case studies and use cases for your software and your capabilities to really just execute on that roadmap and that build out?
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of firms, still doing things in the old way, and the old way being everything from the back of a cigarette packet up to an Excel spreadsheet still being used. You've got rudimentary tooling, and if we look at the consolidation in the marketplace up into these, bigger tiered construction vendors or the tier 1, tier 2 operators, they just need much better systems than that. So you need to be able to rely on a couple of things. One is the field has to be able to provide you with data in a way that they really want to do it. So you've got to have a field application that they want to use, because you've got to drive adoption, because bad data coming in from the field will be bad data up to the back office and whatnot. The second thing is you want to be able to interrogate data, and I think the days of dashboards and workflow, yes, they're very important in a certain sense, but actually really what you want to be able to do is you want to get access through a chatbot. You want to be able to manipulate data, create custom reports without actually having big BI tooling systems. You don't really need that anymore in many respects. You can be able to interrogate those kind of the data that you've got available, and then you can make great decisions of that. And then actually what we'll see progressively is agentic systems take over that.
You're talking about the agentic systems, and we talked about this yesterday, some of that field engineer needing to sort of do compliance work, upload a bunch of photographs of this is what I've done on site. Yeah. Can you maybe just make this real and tell us a little bit about that use case?
Yeah, I mean, and again, if you think about it, so what are you trying to prove in the field? You're trying to prove what's the work done to the quality, and was it done to standardized quality or contractual quality? Was it done in the time given? Was it done within a certain cost base? So what we do is we're using multimodal and multimodal AI to try and prove that. And working examples being, of course, photography. Just very simple, taking the photograph and making sure that the QA behind that is actually, did you dig the trench deep enough, wide enough? Did you complete it in a certain way? You want to make sure, of course, that things like bore adders are provable. And so bore adders, they tend to be a point of conjunction or inside of a contractual relationship. You want to make sure then that if you can take bore data or bore machine data, and then you can correlate that with how long was it done, whether the visual inspection that you're using also correlates with the log data and any other kind of free text. And you want to be able to do that in a way that is sympathetic to the people in the field. So that will be speech to text rather than having to type something in. There's a number of things. when you correlate all of those things together, you
That's
come
the
out
use
with a
case for AI, right?
well, and then you have a probability of whether the work was done qualitatively, and if it was, then you can introduce the agency to say, accept that work, move it up, and get it paid.
And that just moves it's good for the people doing the build out, it's good for the subcontractors, it's good for the invoicing. There's just value through that entire chain.
Yeah.
So, Stephen, we've got to wrap up. It's a busy week this week. If you had to sum up Render Networks in kind of 2 or 3 sentences for the listeners and viewers at home, what would you say?
I'd say, long gone are the days of actually digitalizing. Long gone are those manual processes. If you're running the kind of scale that you need scale, speed, and you need the data to be able to do that well. And the only way to do that is AI. And the biggest thing is, it's augmentation of the human, is not replacement.
I love it. Well, Stephen, you've been joining us here on the HyperFRAME podcast. Please click, subscribe, share with a friend, and do all those things. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.